Like I said, I definitely won't just be going and talking with you again. A brand of justice. Topeka wears a troubled expression. I'm afraid there have been some developments that are less than encouraging. News of the Justiciar's actions have spread throughout the city, and with each retelling, his deeds become more valorous. The younger citizens, in particular, seem to view him as something of an idol. Despite the creatures he hunts posing no real danger, he would paint them as mighty beasts in need of felling. Of course, the Radiant hosts are far too busy to trouble themselves culling every pest that casts a sideways glance at the city's gates. Yet the Justiciar has twisted circumstances to his advantage. He proclaims to anyone who will listen that the Radiant hosts shrink with terror before these beasts, and that he's the only one who can eradicate them. Sure. Though you might expect such claims to be dismissed as wild ramblings, it seems no few people have fallen for his ploy. The whispers of his exploits among the youth have practically grown into clamor. Yet we mustn't be discouraged, for his increasing fame only makes it easier for us to sniff out his trail. And where better to start than Radz-at-Han? I'll see you there, Berlian. Okay, let's go ahead and teleport up there. Yeah, just go ahead and take the Aetherite. I guess you could try and take Chocobo Porters over there, but this is like probably the quickest way to get there. Well, of course it's the quickest way to get there. It's the teleport. Alright, Topeka, any leads? Given how large the city is, let's split up to cover more ground, of course. I really have a destination in mind. The High Crucible. I hear the alchemists there can concoct all manner of tinctures and powders, including those which help in detecting traces of energies left behind by magics and enchanted tools. Fallen rocks have invariably marked locations where the Justiciar has performed one of his feats, and I believe an alchemical mixture can help us determine if their presence is the work of the treasurer. I'm hardly an expert in such concoctions, though, so I'll seek advice at the High Crucible. While I'm doing that, I would ask that you go to the Hall of the Radiant Hosts and see if they have any new information on the Justiciar's whereabouts. Does that plan sound agreeable to you? Well, I can't say no, so... Great. Now that we both have our tasks, let's get to them. Wait, that's what I say. I'll meet you back here once my business is done. Alright, let's go ahead and teleport over to the Hall of the Radiant Host. I think that's where the other, the Endwalker role quests were. Yes. Yeah, they were in this room over here, I believe. Yes, that's where it was. And this is the actual, I think this is where the, a certain side quest line is. Yeah, this guy. Hello, Preoccupied Radiant. I'm tired of hearing of this Justiciar. His popularity among the city's younglings is quickly becoming a cause for concern. Try as we might to refute his claims that the Radiant hosts are allowing monstrous beasts to run amok unchecked. You know how young minds are. Impressionable and difficult to change once set. That sounds like old people. What are you talking about? We initially disregarded him as a boastful eccentric, but this alarming sway over the populace can no longer be ignored. We are at present considering whether to open a formal investigation into his activities. You and this ally of yours have done well in search thus far. You even have a working theory about the fallen stones. Quite impressive. Several of our numbers have encountered him during their patrols, only to lose sight of him under a hail of rocks. Such incidents have become all too frequent, and many in our rank demand we act. For now, I'm afraid this is all the help I can offer. Please share what I've told you with your companion, and together we may yet unmask the Justiciar. Okay. So I guess it is getting a little bit too serious. They gotta actually do something about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and meet back up at the center. There she is. Did you learn anything at the High Crucible? It's heartening to know that the Radiant Host is taking this seriously. Thank you for speaking with them, Brillian. I have good tidings as well. I explained the situation to the alchemists, and they provided a powder that should help detect traces of magic in the surrounding environment. I say help because the powder reacts only faintly on its own. To function properly, it requires the skills of one practiced in the arcane arts. Of course, how convenient. Luckily, I have you! What do you mean, luckily? I've committed the location of all sightings of the Justiciar to memory, and the closest to us was in the perfumed rise. Let's hope this powder works as intended. Alright, let's head outside and into the perfumed rise, wherever that is. Okay, so outside, it is all the way over there, over by the Great Walk. Let's go and teleport there, save a little bit of time. There she is. The Justiciar was sighted near here, and I didn't see any other conspicuous stones around, so I've sprinkled the powder over this one. Now, concentrate your focus, or inner eye, or whatever it is that's the locus of your power, and see if you can't detect any unnatural forces. Yep, it's a stone. Alright, you better explain what the heck that cutscene was. So, were you able to detect anything? I knew you could do it! So because there are no crystals in the rock, the energy you detected must be the remnants of some kind of spell, is that right? Yeah, that's definitely what I said. And taking the story of the Radiant we rescued previously into account, we can conclude that the Justiciar uses the treasure to call those stones down from the sky, somehow. At least we now have an inkling of its true nature. Even so, not every question has been answered. The Radiant told us that even as the Justiciar stood before the creature, he seemed to have trouble calling forth the Apex's power at first. My father once said that the Purge of the Apex is much like the wand he used to weave his magics. Of course, the main difference between them is the unique nature of the essence stored within the treasure. I know little of such arcane instruments, but you must be quite familiar with them. How do you use yours while I read a book? I channel ether into it. I perform incantations. I rely on sheer willpower. I believe, I don't remember the summoner lore. I know that we summon the primals and stuff, but I see. Even with the right instrument, spellcasting requires the use of specific techniques. The Justiciar seems to lack any such expertise, so how did he tap into the treasure's power? I suppose the Purge of the Apex possesses some unique method of activation. When I spoke to the representatives of the other tribes about their treasures, no one mentioned special techniques being required. Not that their relics should have much in common to begin with. Hello, sir. You two, did you see an RE girl pass here by herself? Nope. I'm afraid not. What happened? Wait, I recognize you both. The hero of the final days, a recent visitor from Troll. Apologies for the imposition. But may I beg your assistance? Well, I literally can't say no, so... It's all the Justiciar's fault. The girl said she was off to join the Fool's Crusade and ran out of Yendlamod before anyone could stop her. That's not good. Her mother begged us to find her, but if she's following the Justiciar, she could be anywhere. You see, he's been sighted at locations scattered all over Thavnair. We can't stand here looking at rocks while a girl is in danger, especially if the Justiciar is involved. We have to help. That'd be much appreciated. We're searching places where the Justiciar has been spotted before, so perhaps you could start where he hasn't been seen? That's like everywhere else. Good idea. As far as I know, he hasn't been sighted at the northern shores. Come on, Brilliant. Okay, let's head on up there. I'll start my search right away. Pray hurry to the northern shores. I only hope we can find the girl soon. Oh, don't worry, we'll head on over there real quick. So this is probably going to be a purple circle of doom. Or maybe purple smoke. Either way, we usually we have to do one fighting bit per quest. And this is the second quest, right? A Band of Justice? Yes. Oh yes, the convenient orange circle. See if there's any purple smoke around. Let's see. There we go. A convenient purple circle. Now let's see just how little I remember of how to play this game. Okay, I just pressed every button on that. I just pressed every button. I have no idea what I actually did there. Anyway, you alright, little girl? I heard fighting, so I came as fast as I could. It's a good thing you arrived in time to save the girl. Thank you, miss. Thank you. I mean, I'm a much better role model than the Justiciar. Come worship me. I mean, yeah, worship me. I'm glad you're safe, but your mother's been worried sick. You shouldn't wander off like that, especially not to look for some trickster like the Justiciar. What? You mean he's a bad man? Yes, exactly. He stole an important treasure from my village, and now he's using it to make himself look brave. But he needs it to kill monsters, to protect us. That's no excuse for stealing. He might have fooled you younglings, but the Radiant Host knows what he's up to. But he said he would save us from the monsters. He's our hero. The Radiant said he wouldn't be scared. What? Oh. The Radiant said we shouldn't be scared, but we all know that Justiciar is the one who keeps us safe. We don't need the Radiant anymore. Is that what his plan is? They would be very upset to hear you say that. No hero can save the world alone. Yeah, speaking from experience. Except that every single boss fight I do alone. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say bad things about the Radiant. Yeah, they'll put you in jail. They protected us, even in the final days. Actually, that was me. I guess I forgot how much they care about us. Stupid kid. I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have spoke to you like that after all you've been through, ma'am. It's not like you raised your voice or anything. You flat out said your mother's worried sick about you. You shouldn't go running off alone. That's not exactly, like, bad. That's the truth. You said the Justiciar is a thief and trickster, but I hope it's not true. He's my hero. Kid, you've known him for like 1 day. Why is he your hero? Well, I'd best escort her back to Yedlamont. I'll meet you there later, Brillian. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go and teleport back to Yedlamont and wrap this one up. Alright, where is she? Up on the other side here. Alright, to peek. That girl and her mother are reunited, and I think we can both give ourselves a pat on the back. They're on their way now to inform the Radiant hosts that all is well. I would like to apologize for before. I let my emotions get the better of me, and I forget, this is like Haranguid? Haggard? Sure. Harangued the poor girl when she was hardly to blame for anything. She ran off on her own. Like, you weren't that hard on her. I really should have been scolding myself. Why? Brilliant. There's something I neglected to tell you before. The man who now calls himself the Justiciar came to us in guise of a worldly merchant. He was eager to ask about the Perch of the Apex and its history, and I was equally eager to tell him, not even considering what he might do with the information. This is literally the same story as the first one, right? Where the person let them get it, or like told them everything on how to get it, and then they stole it, and now the person feels bad about it. Like, come on. The other ones were their own stories. I'm so proud of my father for being appointed to its guardian. I suppose I was trying to impress this stranger out of sheer vanity. That vanity led to my father being attacked and the treasure being stolen from under our noses. I have no choice but to make amends for my mistake and bring it back. Yet some are convinced that the Justiciar acts only to serve the greater good. I couldn't accept that he might not be as rotten as I thought, and lashed out at the wrong person. Okay, that's a little bit more interesting. For now, I can't let my emotions cloud my judgment. I must remain calm and look at the facts for what they are. And the facts say that the Justiciar has done no harm to the people of Thavnir. Yeah, but he still stole your stuff. And I was tasked with getting it back, so I'm going to get it back. Even so, the organization he serves, the Passage of the Unbound, is evil to its very core, right. If his actions at my village are not villainy, I don't know what is. The situation is fraught with contradictions. I still don't know what to think. What about you, Brillian? Let's get him. There's still too many unanswered questions. Even if he hasn't attacked anyone, his actions are stirring unrest. Yes, it is, because he's causing people to lose faith in the Radiant hosts. I agree. He speaks of justice and heroism with great bluster, yet there's something we are missing. Thank you, Brillian, for your wise words. I sometimes find it difficult to keep my heart from skewing my perspective. So I'm grateful that you're here to help me see clearly. So it seems our objective is unchanged. We track down the man who stole my people's sacred treasure. Whatever his intentions may be, unraveling them comes secondary to finding the man himself. Yep. I'll continue to pour my every effort into the search. So stop by from time to time, and I may have something new to share with you. You mean stop by once and you'll have it in about right after this cutscene ends?